Math Genie.
In this video, I'll be explaining how to solve independent probability questions. Let's look at the question. 4 green blocks and 3 red blocks are placed in a bag and selected at random. What is the probability of selecting 3 blocks of the same color without replacement? So if you watched my last video, which I will link down in the description box below, I talked about how to solve dependent probability questions. But the only difference between dependent and independent probability question is this word, without replacement. Dependent probability questions typically ask you that it's with replacement. So you'll be replacing whatever block that you pull out of the bag. However, for independent probability questions, you're not going to be replacing those blocks that you're going to be pulling out of the bag. So let's go ahead and solve this question. So first you have 4 green blocks and 3 red blocks, and you're going to be choosing 3 blocks from this bag of the same color without replacement. So in this case, we have to set up 2 different cases. The first case is going to be with the green block. So the probability of pulling out 3 greens. Well, you have 7 blocks. So you're going to start with 7. So out of the 7 blocks, what is the probability for you to choose a green block out of the 7 blocks? 4, because you start off with 4 green blocks here. So 4 times. Well, you're not going to be replacing the green that you pull out of the first try. So you're going to be replacing that. You're not going to be replacing that. So instead of 7 blocks, you now have 6 blocks in the bag. And the remaining green, there's 3 remaining green blocks. And the same thing, if you pull out a green block and you're not going to replace it, you're going to be left with 5 blocks in total, and you're going to be left with 2 green blocks. And if you don't really understand this process, let me try to kind of simplify it. Let's say there are 4 green blocks, which I'll indicate by the circle, and let's say you have 3 red blocks. When you pull out this first green block, you're going to be left with 6 blocks in total and 3 blocks and 3 green blocks. This is talking about this case. When you eliminate another green block, you're going to be left with 5 blocks, and only 2 greens, which is this case. So always remember that whenever it says the word without replacement, that you're always subtracting number 1 from the denominator and also number 1 from the numerator. So that's the easier way to remember it. Next case is when you have 3 red. So when you pull 3 red blocks consecutively. Well, you start off with 7 blocks again. And how many reds do you have? You have 3. Same thing, subtract 1 in both numerator and in denominator. So you're going to have 2 over 6 and 1 over 5. Because you're going to be left with, for example, 6 blocks in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in total. And you're going to be eliminating 1. So you're going to be left with 6, but only 2 red. Eliminate another 1. You're going to be left with 1 red. So let's simplify both of these. So this is going to be simplified to 4 over 35. And the reds will be simplified to 1 over 35. So at the end, you're going to be adding both of these probabilities to get your final answer, 5 over 35, which is 1 over 7. So the probability of you choosing 3 blocks of the same color, either green or red, without replacement is 1 over 7. Always remember to subtract 1 from both numerator and denominator when it's asking the question for you to choose from the same bag without replacement. Thank you for staying until the end of this video.
Math Genie.